Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And the question is, do you want to run your OS X off SSD through USB 3.0 having good results and without having to spend a fortune, well, not a fortune, but a good quite of money on Thunderbolt, which is the other option externally? I've got good news for you, and if you are interested in this video, so stay tuned. Okay guys, so hope you are okay on that side of the screen. In here I'm okay. It's summertime in Portugal, well, at least it's starting, and we are going to the beach more regularly and getting some color, but that's not why we are here. So do you want to run your OS X off an USB 3.0 with an SSD inside? I've been testing this for about 3 weeks now, and I'm going to share with you all the results, and really interesting results, which I'm happy with it. Price point and quality, and when I mean quality I mean performance, which is what we want from an SSD. I'll be sharing all of that with you. This might be a bit of a long video, and that being said, usually I record the videos and I record the screens usually with more than one camera. For this particular video I apologize, but I will be using the old technique of pen. I already directionized this monitor here to the camera position, so I can and sorry about that, don't get dizzy, so I can boot up the machine and share with you the results. And as I'm gonna boot up a few times, it will not be as practical recording the screen and then placing all together. So everything will be on this camera for today. Apologize for those that don't really like this kind of shooting. I'm sure I don't, but to be honest, it will be the simplest way. Getting that off the way, I would like to point a few things before we move on, and one of them is the devices that I'm going to use. I'm going to use a USB 3.0 case. This one is 15 euros and is the one that I have been testing with, and I'm going to be using as well the Samsung 840 EVO for this test. This is the 250 gigs version. I'm really happy with the results and the price point of this too, which last night I just ordered another set of this. I'm going to keep this set just for my tests and for, well, whatever I want to do. And I ordered last night from Amazon, which I'll post the link so you can go and check the prices and whatnot. These two devices. One of them is the well-known 840 EVO. The other one is the Inatech USB 3.0 drive. One of the things that will be important is the UASP compatibility, which means that it stands for USB Assorted SCSI protocol. If it's not, no, sorry, attached. Yeah, sorry, just checked my note. USB attached SCSI protocol, which will enable you to get higher read speeds and higher write speeds. If you put your SSD in a regular USB 3.0 case, you will not get the same results. So bear in mind that you will need, if not this one, another one with UASP compatibility, and you will see the results of what I'm talking about right now. Having that said, let's just take a few more things out of the way, and the first one is reasons why you want to do this. In my case, as you know, I have got the Mac Mini, which is probably the most easiest way to insert an SSD directly to the computer itself. My Mac Mini has about 1 year, so I've got 1 more year warranty. I don't want to void that warranty. So if I want to if I want to, which I will only have this Mac Mini for a few more months, maybe 1 or 2. I'll be selling, so I will want to keep the warranty intact. It will be easier for me to sell. But if I wanted to keep the system 1-2 years more, I would definitely open it up and place an SSD inside. No problem at all. But there are other machines that are not so easy to replace the SSD, and one of them, as you can see on the back there, I bought a iMac for my wife for her birthday, and I bought it locally. If I was to buy in the Apple Store, I would definitely go with an SSD, internal SSD with PCI Express. Nothing beats that. Nothing, at least that I'm aware of. Nothing beats the speeds of PCI Express directly in the motherboard. So I didn't purchase at the Apple Store because I had a really good deal on a local store, 20% off. It's cash back, but 20% off, which means 270 euros for that particular model. And with those 270 euros, what I thought was I'm going to give a better gift for my wife. Instead of just the iMac, I'm going to give her the iMac, and then with the cash back, I'm going to give her the iPad. She already has an iPhone. She likes the integration of the app. So it is what it is. That was my decision. The problem is they only had the base models, no SSDs, no Fusion drives, nothing like that. So I've got 2 options to run an SSD there. One is USB 3 and the other one is Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt, the case similar to this one, will cost you above 100 euros. Less than 100 euros, I haven't seen none. And this one will cost you 15 euros. There are advantages and disadvantages, sorry. One of the disadvantages of USB 3.0 is you will not have trim support as you do on Thunderbolt, and that's one of the disadvantages. But for what I've read and researched and tested, with trim or without trim, even if you've got and you will see by the test that I'll be sharing with you, if you don't know what a trim is, just Google around and it will be easy for you to check and what the trim does to the hard drive and whatnot. And while I'm at this topic, trim really helps the lifespan and the healthy status of a hard drive. But for the tests that I've been watching, reading, the lifespan of one of these devices here, SSD, with the huge amount of data written to it, 30 gigs per day, it will last you, which is a lot. I use this every day on my one of these on my main PC, Windows PC, and I don't write 30 gigs per day, not even close. Of course the system writes its own bits and pieces over here and over there, but 30 gigs per day I don't. And the tests that are on the web, they talk about 5 to 10 euros lifespan of an SSD with really intensive usage, and the intensive usage is not the read, it's the write. So yeah, trim, it helps, that's why it exists. There is a lot of controversy, and if you want to talk about trim, please don't. Well, you can leave your opinion, but don't rant or things like that. At least I'm asking that. Leave your opinion, but hey, this is the test that I've been making without trim, and it's working fine. To finish up this topic, if the drive doesn't last me 10 years, sorry, and only lasts me 5 years, am I worried about that? Yeah, I'm a bit worried, as I'm worried using a regular hard drive. We don't know when it's gonna die. It will die eventually, but we don't know when. So if you take care of your drive, and if you leave your computer to sleep once in a while, about twice a month, and most SSDs this day, they have got a great garbage collection, I think you will be alright. At least that's the test that I've been made. Of course, 3 weeks is nothing. You probably would want a test of 2-3 years working with something like this on a USB, and then I'm telling you, hey, for 3 years that I'm running, no, 3 weeks. But for the results that I've seen, it's working great. So that's taken off the way. Trim, the reasons why, UASP, which is very important. I believe UASP only works after Ivy Bridge CPUs. So if you have a lower CPU than Ivy Bridge, I don't know the write and read speeds that you're gonna get. Anyway, for 15 euros, getting with or without USB, there's no question there. And trim, and a little bit more about the Thunderbolt. So Thunderbolt, as I said, they are more expensive, and if you search around, you will see that they are a lot more expensive. And probably if you are watching this video, it's because you already searched. So one of the advantages of Thunderbolt is you will have trim capability through a little app, or you can paste the commands. It's easy to find on Google, and you will have trim enabled, which will improve the lifespan and keep the speeds of the drive healthy. Once again, I'm going to show you the speeds of this guy here as it is, and then I'm going to fill up the disk, and I'm going to do more speed tests and you can watch for yourself. So just a spoiler alert. Thunderbolt has one disadvantage: price, which we already covered, and the other disadvantage, in my case, if I wanted to run Thunderbolt on my Mac Mini, I would have to buy a dual Thunderbolt device, a device that has Thunderbolt in and Thunderbolt out. It's not in and out, they can both get in and out, but so I could connect one of the monitors to that device, and the other Thunderbolt cable to the computer itself, because I didn't want to lose, in that case, I wouldn't want to lose the capability of running 2 monitors on my Mac Mini. Now, on that particular iMac or any other iMac, they've got 2 Thunderbolt connections, and imagine that you have 2 displays with your iMac, and you're gonna connect them on the back with mini display ports on the Thunderbolt. So that's another reason you would have to go to a dual, to a case that has dual Thunderbolts. And for cases like that, we are talking about 250 euros up. I didn't find anything cheaper. The other way around is USB 3.0. Of course, once again, if you are ordering your machine from Apple Store, just throw in that extra 200 euros, I think it's 200 euros on Europe, and you will get a great SSD inside the machine with reads and writes, which are to blow away. If not, if you have an older system, or if you are in a situation like I just did for my wife, and to be honest, my wife is not complaining, I'm complaining when I touch a computer that doesn't have an SSD. It's difficult to not be unhappy with it. Once you know what SSD is, you can't go back. And before I had an SSD, I worked with dual 7200 RPM in RAID 0, and that would give me about 150-170 megabytes per second on my main machine. Once I swapped to SSD, and the Mac Mini, I bought it before I knew what SSD was. If it was today, I would buy the Mac Mini with the SSD. No, wouldn't even think about it. So let me just check if I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, I think at least, if I recall, I'm not forgetting any of the topics that I would like to throw there. Sorry if I'm taking long, but I would like to take this out of the way before we go into the actual speed tests. And once again, apologize for the pans that I'm going to do with the camera, and let's get right to the tests themselves. So let's see our monitor here, and first spoiler is, let's grab our Blackmagic disk speed test, and let's select our target drive. In this case, I'm gonna select my 5000 400 RPM drive. Okay, let's go and select our desktop. Okay, so what we're gonna have here is roughly 100 megs per second on write, and let me check if you can. Hopefully you're not getting a lot of glare on the screen there. So this is roughly what we're getting with a regular hard drive. Now let's stop this, and sorry about that. What I have here already is the clone of my system. I did clone it this morning before I shoot this video, because I did a lot of tests, and I wanted to have the system exactly the same that I have right now. So what I'm going to do is, and I used Carbon Copy Cloner, I think that's the name of the app, the trial version, which allowed me to clone the exact system to here, and it was actually really simple and fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the case, and I might do this live. I just wasted about 15 minutes of your life, so if I waste a few more seconds, hopefully you don't mind. And so very easy, just close it up. It has a off-on switch on the back, this Inatec housing, and then it comes with a USB 3.0 cable. And what I'm going to do now is connect it to the back of the Mac. And sorry that you are not watching, you are just listening at the moment. So let's just try to connect this. Okay, let's turn the camera to the screen once again, and as you can see, the drive itself has a blue LED that blinks, and it's recognized, as you can see here, Clone Mini, which was the name that I gave to the drive. Let's now select the target drive and select the drive Clone Mini, users. Let's go to the desktop because sometimes it doesn't allow to. And let's do the test. Bam! So the first write will go above 400. This always happens, and the reads always above 400. Now the second write will go lower, roughly 250s, 300s. It will go on these kind of writes, and the reads 400 and something, always above 400. So these are the speeds that you will expect from these two devices. On the writes you will have almost 3 times and that the original HDD, and on the reads you will have 4 times plus the reads and the reads of the original HDD. So as you can see, this will be, let's just wait to make another one, but it will be between 200, 300 writes. Now it's getting a bit lower. Just out of curiosity, let's leave it once again. Okay, there you go. So it goes below, it goes above 230, 220. The worst that I had was a little bit below the 200 megs, like you are watching right now. So I don't want to have anyone mistaken here. This is the actual results. Reads, which is the most important, at least for the apps opening and more great experience, reads are the most important anyway, and this one will be the last. Okay, so roughly 200. Okay, so once again, sorry about that. Here we are, don't get dizzy. So these are the speeds that we are getting with the machine, with the USB connected. It's not loaded as a OS X. We will load it next. but as you can see, there's a big difference on writes and reads. Writes, you will get at least a double. So we are talking about 200 megs a second. It will be better than the RAID 0 config with two 7200 RPM drives, which was what I used in the past. So you get at least 200 megs. And on the read, you will get at least 400 megs. That is a speed that doesn't change. So the next speed test that we're going to make, it's a boot test, and we're going to make two different boot tests, so you can see the difference, and I can explain a few things. Okay, so just a few seconds and we will be right next to the boot screen. Okay, so we are back, and for the first test, let's try to boot it up. I'm gonna press the two buttons, try to be the most accurate possible, and we will see what we get as a result. Sorry if it's a bit out of focus there. Hopefully you can see the timer. If not, you will have to believe my word for it. And we are booting up with the 5400 RPM hard drive. So let's see how long it will take. Okay, so we are roughly with 39 seconds and I still hear the hard drive working. So if I press anything right now, still, well, the beach ball didn't appear much. Okay, so this is the boot time, 39 seconds on the regular hard drive. What I'm gonna do now is switch off again and boot up with the the USB 3.0 SSD inside. Okay, so just a few seconds. Okay, so now we are going to boot off the external SSD with the USB 3.0. I'll try to make the same. Once again, sorry about the blurry, it's just the autofocus of the camera. And let's see the timing that we got, or that we are going to get. And we're gonna stop. Okay, so we got on this test 36 seconds. So this is a 3-second improvement from the, and one thing that I can notice is if I open an app, it will be instantaneously getting some Facebook notes there. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry for the pen again. So as we watched, we had 39 seconds on the HDD and 36 seconds on the SSD. So you're asking me, hey Robert, why the hell do I want a machine that boots 3 seconds earlier than the regular HDD? Really sorry about this. This is the problem of trying to do things live. So I was saying 3 seconds of difference. What the hell is that? Nothing. The real difference is when the operating system is booted up. And the main reason for this is USB bus will not be loaded right away as the SATA bus is. SATA bus will be, as soon as you press the button, it will be loaded, and the USB won't. So I just want to give you one more, well, not one more, we're going to do more tests, but to be able to show you this, we're going to do another 2 boots, so we can see the difference when the USB is loaded up and when it's not. Of course, it will make no difference because you are always going to press the button. You are not going to do the test that I'm going to make now. But I think overall it will be worth it, especially when we start opening the apps, which I will show you as soon as possible after these 2 more tests, which hopefully will be interesting for you. Hopefully it will, not too boring. So let's turn off and do those 2 tests again to see. Okay guys, so we are back for 2 more tests, and as you can see, we are in the boot screen. And I just want to make these tests so I can show you the difference between the USB buzz being loaded or not. So let's do something. Let's go to our Mac HT, which is the 5400 RPM drive, and I'm going to press start on my iPhone, and I'm going to press on the mouse. At least I'll try to be the most accurate possible. So let's go. Okay, so this is the drive, the HDD. I'm just going to place a note here so we can see the difference. And stop. So we are getting 3880, which means 39 secs on our hard drive. Let's turn off the Mac. As you can see, with the hard drive we get sometimes the beach ball, and that's not what we want. So let's shut down again, and I'm gonna pause the video and we'll be back with you just as soon as it's ready. Okay guys, so we are back for this part of the test, and now instead of loading the internal hard drive, we're going to load the external SSD, and I'm going to try to do the same so we can see the difference once the USB buzz is loaded. So I'm going to press both at the same time. Oops, I did miss a few milliseconds there, but we will try to compensate that. Okay, so we're talking about 17 seconds with everything to work, ready to work. 17 seconds against the 39 seconds. So once again, sorry. And let's move back this way. We are talking about 39 seconds with the SATA loaded, which is by default, and 17 seconds with the USB buzz loaded. And on that screen you can say, hey Robert, I'm not going to press the command or the alt key, sorry, which for Mac it's called option key, if I'm not wrong. I use Windows and Mac, so sometimes I get confused. I think it's the option key. I'm not going to do that. I'm just pressing the button, and I want it to boot up. I'm not going to choose which drive I want, and you are obviously sure. So you will not get much of a difference between the boot time. What you will get on boot is the readiness of the machine once it boots. On the HDD, once it boots, you will still hear the hard drive making the noise, which is reading and writing and whatever it is doing. And on the SSD, it's instantaneous. So that's the biggest advantage there. You will not get through the USB. Don't think of getting, instead of the 35 that you have at this moment, or 30, don't think of getting 12 as you would do on a PCI Express, or probably on a Thunderbolt. I don't know, I haven't tested, I cannot assure you that. Probably in a few weeks I will decide if I'm going to get a Thunderbolt device just to make these tests. If I do, I will honestly share with you. But just to assure you that it's on the boot that you will not get that results that probably you are expecting as well. But on the rest, and let me do another pan over here. Really sorry about this, but we are with the SSD right now, and if you press a lot of apps, you will have no problem loading the apps. Premiere is jumping, but it's ready. Let's press just new project. Yeah, So we just loaded a few apps here, and with no problems at all. Let's just, I don't have the, I have it here. Let's just make a test while the OS is loaded on the external SSD. Let's go to Clone Mini and let's use the desktop, which we can write to, and we do the test. So once again, we are getting on the first write. We always get above 400, and then it drops. On the reads, no matter how many tests I do, nothing drops, nothing at all. So now you're gonna get lower writes, but always on the range of the 200 megabytes per second. So you already saw this. Let's close this, and let's close all these. Okay, so all the apps closed, and this is the biggest advantage is the opening of the apps. To be honest, and I'm going to give my wife as an example as well, she can wait for 30 seconds to boot up, or 35 seconds or whatever, but once she presses an app that she wants to use, especially iPhoto or something like that, what she desires and if anyone desires is that the app opens it up quickly, it responded, and that's the advantage of the USB. Once the system is loaded, you have full capability, not the PCI. You cannot compare the speeds with PCI, but you will have a great experience, much better than the HDD. For the next test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the system to boot up with I don't know, 6 or 7 apps, probably the ones that I have on my dock, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 apps, and we're going to press the button and see how both systems respond, so you can have a better idea of what the SSD in this external case can do or can't do. Okay, so stay tuned a few more seconds and you will see that test as well. Okay guys, so now on this test we will be booting off the HDD and we will be opening 16 apps after the boot. So let's try and press start. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up this video until we see the blue lights indicating that the apps are loaded, so I don't waste much more of your time. Okay, so I think all the apps are loaded except After Effects. I'm not sure. And this gave us 3 minutes of boot time. There are 2 apps jumping around, but as you can see by the blue LED indicator, they have been loaded and they are just waiting for us to select which option do you want. I think that I forgot to include After Effects. Nonetheless, we're going to do the same test on the SSD, and let's see how much time we will take to do the same test. Okay, so in a few seconds I'll be back with you guys. Okay guys, so now we are going to boot off our SSD with the same apps to be opened, and once the blue light is on, we will finish the test. So let's press start and Okay, and we are loaded up. So 56 seconds compared to the 3 minutes and 5 seconds that we had on the regular hard drive. Apologize once again. Let's turn it right over here. So as you saw by these two tests, the real benefit of the experience will be after you have the system boot up. Now what I'm going to do right now, because booting it's already, I think, more than covered, I'm going to show you, and let's turn on again. I'm really sorry about that, but that's the easiest way. Let's close these apps. So the ones that are jumping around are loaded as we did on the other screen, but with a difference of 2 minutes and 10 seconds less than there. So you can see that the SSD is doing its work and everything is no, not yet, because I don't use it. So let's close this, let's close this, close, and okay, so we have, I know, Keynote is still on. Okay, so we have all the apps closed now. Let's just do another test, and before we do that test, let's go to our system preferences. No, let's go to About This Mac and more info, because this might be interesting as well for you. Storage. So as you can see, this is not a new installation. I only have 68 gigabytes free out of the SSD, and we are going to do a test which will be copy, and let's paste it over here. This is a 3 gigabyte file, roughly 3 gigabyte. So just so you can see the right performance, which will be roughly as we saw on Blackmagic. Let's open the, sorry, let's go to the, let's paste here, keep both, yeah. So I'm not measuring this the right speed, but you obviously can see. If you want to go in detail, just go to the counter on YouTube, and you can see how many seconds one took and how many seconds the other one took, to see what difference we are getting, and roughly is the double of the performance in regards of write speed. So now what I'm going to do is let's create a new folder here, and let's bring this to files inside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the files, and I will try to fill my hard drive the most that I can, and probably will speed up the video a little bit. Okay guys, so now that we have filled up almost all the disk, we only have 10 gigabytes free out of the 250 gigabytes, and obviously this is one of the concerns about the SSDs. Once they get filled, how will they react? So let's go to our Blackmagic and see. Let's select the target, and let's see how it will react to that. So as you can see, write speeds and read speeds will behave the same way. this means that there is no big disadvantage of having the disk full or not, and we are having only 10 gigs free. So we can stop this. Let's open an app. Let's open another one and another one. Okay, so exaggerating here, but as you can see, it doesn't have nothing to do with a regular hard drive that you have to wait for almost eternity to open everything. And once again, apologize for the pen. Hopefully you are not dizzy with all these pens. And guys, so we are in the end of this I don't know, overview or whatever you want to call it. My final opinion about this is well, now I have this connected to, I don't know if you can see it, but is this device, the USB, got a box here, is this USB box or enclosure worth it? Yeah. What's the risk? 15 euros, and you can use it, you can try it. You're gonna have for sure a better experience that you are having right now with your internal HDD, whether you're on a Mac Mini, on an iMac, or anything else that still has a internal 5400 RPM. So this will be ideal if you want to upgrade to an SSD. If you are on a budget and you are thinking of, hey, I want to go to Thunderbolt, but right now I don't have the money available to, and I want to try with USB first and then probably in the future go to Thunderbolt. So you're probably gonna spend the money on a SSD, which is the most important part. You're gonna spend a small amount of money on the case itself. You're gonna use it, you're gonna be much happier than you are right now, and that's the experience they have. Bear in mind that I just didn't do this test today. I did the test for roughly 3-4 weeks on my spare free time, which I was curious to know, because before buying the iMac for my wife, that was one of the things that would concern me. I'm going to give her a machine and she's not going to have a good experience with it. So how can I solve that after the fact? And before I purchased it, I made all these tests to be able to give my wife a good experience and my wallet a less amount of spending, because I wanted to give, besides the iMac, I wanted to give her the iPad. So she is not a full-time teacher, but she's a chief nurse which teaches at the hospital as well. So if I can facilitate her and just let her go with the iPad, with the keynotes and the PowerPoints and things like that, and just connect it to Lightning to VGA, and then she makes the presentation, that would be great. So I was thinking iMac and the iPad mini Retina display almost for the same price as just the iMac. So that was my reason. I did all these tests, wanted to share with you guys, because I see a lot of questions in the forums where I spend a little bit of my day searching, because I'm a bit curious. So once again, is it worth it? Yeah. Is it worth it? You can buy this for 15 euros. Once again, I'll leave the link there so it's easier for you. And in the future, if you want, you can go Thunderbolt. You will expand, let's say in 6 months, you save a little bit every month if you're on a budget, and then you spend just on the case, Thunderbolt case, you just clone the drive again and you are ready to go. Okay guys, so this is my opinion, of course, based on these facts here. Research a little bit more about UASP technology over USB. Research a little bit more about Trim. Do your research and then make a good purchase which you have in mind. Definitely some facts so you can make a great purchase and you are disappointed of ordering something and then be sad with that. I'm just really anxious to receive my wife's order that I ordered last night from Amazon. It will arrive this week. and once I have that, I will put it on the iMac. I will do the tests again. I will not cover all this, but I will do the tests again on the iMac just to see if there's any difference, just because my Mac Mini is from 2012 and that one is from late 2013. I will see if there's any difference or not. I will share in the channel here with you guys, but it will not be as an extended video as this was, with so many boots and so many tests and so many things like that. It will just be a cover-up to see. And I really want to see my wife's experience to improve, and we'll ask her, are you better right now? Because she doesn't understand nothing about technology. She doesn't care. When I try to explain her something, she says, yeah, just put it to work, and I'm happy like that. So that's the kind of person that my wife is, but nonetheless I want her to give a good experience on that workflow. And sorry about all this long time, guys. If this was helpful for you at any point for your setup, if it was helpful just for you to spend about half an hour, 40 minutes with me, thumbs up on the video. If not, right next to it there's the button to say, hey Robert, I didn't like it. Any comments, any questions that you have, anything that I can test and let you know via a comment, feel free to do so, and when I have some free time I will answer, I will try to answer all the comments. And this is it. So guys, my name is Roberto George, and bye bye.